Welcome to our 30-minute morning class. And this morning we are moving up the chakras to the heart. So the heart is located here, just in the middle, the yoga heart, just in the middle of the chest here. So today's class is going to be a little bit softer, a little bit sweeter, focusing on Anahata chakra, which is the heart chakra. And the element of this chakra is air, space, the infinite, and it's connected with love, freedom, positivity. And the color of it, if you like to visualize colors, sometimes it's seen as like a green, like a minty green, and sometimes it's a baby pink. So it can be like either of those colors, if those colors do come to you as we're practicing. So let's start with an oil. I'm using jasmine today. The flower oils are good to work with the heart as well. And just place a little bit on your hands. Rub your hands together. And take a couple of breaths. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Arriving in the space, in your breath. Breath is connected with this chakra, air, breath. And then let's bring one hand on our heart and one hand onto our belly. Just take a moment to connect into your openness of your heart. And we're going to start with a breathing called Samavriti, a box breath. So with this breath, we go in for 4, hold for 4, hold in, out, hold out. Yeah, so it's like a square, like a box breath, okay? So let's start by clearing the breath out. Inhale for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Retain. 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold on empty, 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. And again, inhale, 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold, 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Hold on empty for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. And just coming back to your normal breath. Just take a moment to connect into your heart, connect into your heart's desire. One more breath and clear it out. And then let's come to our mat. Bring your hands under your shoulders, bring your knees under your hips. And we're going to start to move into our cat-cow. So inhale forwards, exhale, arching through the back. And just bringing your awareness to that space behind the back of your heart where Anahata resides. And then inhale, look forward. Exhale, just curling. Take maybe a little bit longer here today. And then release. And again, 2 more, awakening the spine. And then release. Last one. And then release. And then from here, we're going to come down into puppy pose, Anahata Asana. So coming down with the knees in alignment to the hips. You may need to move the knees back a little bit. Coming down onto the forearms. And just again, see if you can soften into that area, like behind where your bra strap, bikini strap goes. See if you can soften down a little bit there. Option to stay here with the forearms on the floor, or option to walk the hands forward more and to come down onto the head or a block. Just take a couple of breaths here, just softening. Just opening into the mid-back. 2 more. Last one. And then coming back up onto your forearms, coming back up to all fours. Bring your left knee over a little tiny bit and inhale, extend the right leg. And then plant your right foot in between your hands. And then make sure your back knee feels comfortable. I've got a little blanket. I might need to pull my little blanket back a bit, sorry. Make sure that the knee, top of the knee is comfortable. And then from here, we're going to root to rise, bringing our hands up to the sky. And just take a moment to feel into your body, stretching up to the sky, taking the gaze up, and see if you can drop the pelvis down a little bit. Option from here, if your back feels quite open, to take the arms back a little bit and come into a little back bend. But see how that feels for you and your low back. And maybe today you're not ready for that. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. And then you're going to take your elbows up towards your shoulders and open up in cactus arms. So my arms are straight. Well, they're bent, but my forearms are facing forward. And just squeeze the shoulder blades together, shining your heart forward. Take an inhale. Beautiful core, beautiful Andrea. Then inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down. And step back to all fours and change sides. Make sure, again, the knee's comfortable. Inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale, plant your left foot in between your hands. See how wide you want to go. Feel in. And then inhale, root to rise. Take your hands up to the sky. And find a little tiny lift engagement of the pelvic floor, which we did in week 1, Mula Bandha. And then option to come into a little back bend if that feels nice, really feeling in. And we want that stabilization of the low back with a little lifting of the pelvic floor and a little gathering. Beautiful. And then bring your hands to your heart. And then open up your arms, forearms facing forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Opening to receive. Trusting that it'll all work out with your heart. Leading with your heart. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down either side of the front foot and step back to all fours pose. From here, always option to work with cat-cow or tuck your toes and lift your hips up to the sky. Find some little pedal outs of the feet here. Pedaling the feet from side to side. And then just bending both knees, coming onto the tiptoes, let your belly come towards your thighs. Just take a little moment here, just give the bum a little wiggle. Lovely. And then step your left foot across to the middle of the mat. Take your right leg up to the sky, inhale. And then exhale, plant your right foot in between your hands. Back foot comes down onto the floor and root to rise. We're going to come straight up into warrior 2. Hips facing the long edge of your mat. Take your arms wide, roll your shoulders down away from the ears a couple of times. And then we're going to bring the left hand down onto the leg, right up and over. Dancing warrior. Nice strong legs. Again, that little lifting of the pelvic floor, that awareness of the pelvic floor. Dancing warrior. Let's do this 3 times, just opening up through the back. Your legs are really strong and really stable. Lovely core. Exhale as you come over the leg. Inhale as you go to the extended leg. Last one. And then take your arms wide. From here, you're going to bring your arms behind you. So either just having the arms behind you or binding the hands. So your fingers are interlaced. Draw the knuckles down towards the floor. Roll the shoulders back and take your gaze slightly up. Really press into the feet here. And then we're going to start to move the body forward. It might just be a little movement where you're moving into that space between, kind of towards the right front thigh. And then inhale, come up. And then exhale again. Your hands can come further away from the body if that feels good. It can be a little tiny movement or it can be a more deeper movement. See what your body feels. Beautiful. Exhale, release forward. Inhale, come up. And again. Last one, coming all the way up. Extend the arms. Windmill your arms down, right side, left side, either side of that front foot, and step back to plank pose. Drop your knees, drop your belly, come all the way down onto your mat. From here, you're going to take your fingers off of your mat, if you've got a mat, come onto the fingertips and let the shoulders, the elbows come up, if you can see mine. So I'm pressing into my feet, and from here, I'm just going to start to lift up. Again, bringing your awareness to that area behind your heart, your Anahata chakra. We're opening up physically into that area. And inhale, it might be a little tiny coming up, or it might be more intense for you. And again, 2 more. Noticing your breath, releasing. Last one, calming up, holding up. Take a little look over the right shoulder. Come back, and a little look over the left shoulder. And then come all the way down. Press back. Take your knees wide, feet together. Take a little child's pose just to stretch into the back. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, root to rise, coming up to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a little breath here, settle into your body. And we're going to take the opposite side. So bring the right foot across to the middle of the mat. Take your left leg up to the sky. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, plant your left foot in between your hands. I'm going to show you this side. Facing the long edge of your mat, root to rise, coming up. So you want the feet nice and wide, depending on your level. But you want to be able to press down into the outside edge of that back foot. Take the arms nice and wide. Just roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Release tension in the shoulders. Look towards the left, the bent knee. And then we're going to do our dancing warrior. So you inhale, come into the extended leg. Exhale, forearm comes to thigh. Beautiful. So your legs are like your oak trees. They're not moving. And there's that gripping of the feet and that engagement of the pelvic floor. Strong legs. Beautiful. Lovely. Just noticing your breath as you move. Last one. Beautiful. Lovely, Andrea. And then coming up, extending your arms again. So option to just bring the hands behind you if you don't want to take the bind. Or if you want to take the bind, interlace, but check in with the shoulders, see how this feels. Draw the knuckles down to the floor, find a little lift in the chest and draw the shoulders down the back. Take an inhale. And then from here, we're going to find that little movement towards the inner thigh of the front leg and just feeling. So you're squeezing the shoulder blades together and you're moving forward, but it might be a small movement. Exhaling as you're coming forward, clearing out with the breath. 2 more. Last one. Root to rise, coming all the way up, releasing your hands. Windmill your hands down. Each side of the foot, bring your hands to the floor. Step back to plank pose. Drop your knees, drop your belly, and find Sphinx or Cobra. So my forearms are on the floor. Maybe first of all, finding a little Sphinx, checking in with the low back. And then coming down onto the belly, bringing the hands back. So hands, thumbs are just sort of in alignment with the nipples. Hug those upper arms into the ribs and lift up into your Cobra. See where you're at with your back. And then release all the way down. And now we're going to extend the arms. So my palms are facing down on the floor. And from here, I'm just going to lift up the top of my body. So I'm pressing into the feet, checking in with the back, lifting up through the top of the body. Beautiful. So the arms are extended and we're just finding that lift. Beautiful. Come all the way back down onto the belly and press back into child's pose. Just staying for a breath. And then coming up to all fours. We're just going to do one more little thing to open up the back here. It's a little bit stronger. So you're going to bring your hands onto the floor. So you can either have the fingers wide on the floor like this with the palms down, or you can interlace your hands. So see what feels best. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And then from here, we're going to come into a little planky pose. And we're just going to do this 5 times. And then we're going to extend the bum back, walk the feet forward a little tiny bit, and just really press into the shoulders. And this really opens up the mid back, okay? And then as we inhale, we come forward and the feet do shuffle back a little bit. Beautiful. And then up again. Little dolphin plank to open up that area and strengthen a little bit. And then come forward. Beautiful. And again. You can stop now if you've done enough, or you can do 2 more. Last one. Hold here for an extra breath. And then drop your knees and release back into child's pose, just finding that softness. A little mantra for you. I love and accept myself just as I am. Just saying that to yourself. I love and accept myself just as I am. And on your next inhale, press up to all 4s. Bring your knees under your hips, tuck your toes. And let's come into downward facing dog. Give the head a little shake. Make sure there's no tension in the head. Take a big inhale. Exhale. And walk your feet to the front of your mat. Let's take a little ragdoll here. Take your hands onto your elbows. Take a little shake, a little bob, a little swing. See what feels nice for your body. And then root to rise, coming all the way up, taking your hands up over your head. And then bring your hands to your heart. And we're just going to support the low back here. So just bring your hands onto the low back. Press into the feet, activate your legs, and just find a little lifting as you just release back here, but with a support. So you're just lifting through the chest with that support in the low back. Beautiful. And then release. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Step the feet a little bit wider, so they're wider than the hips, and turn the toes out. Slide your hands down, so your heels of your hands are above your knees, and just let the bum just release here, kind of twerking style. Let your shoulders come right up towards your ears from here. And then we're just going to take the right shoulder forward, left one back. And change sides. And change sides. Just a couple more here, just to strengthen the legs. Last 2. Come back to the center. Stay with me. Take your hands up to the sky. Bring your index finger underneath your thumb, coming into your goddess pose. And just take a couple of little pulses here. Connecting into the heart, connecting into your goddess energy. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Coming all the way up. Have a little shake off. Shake off the hips, shake off the shoulders. And then take the legs wide. So take the legs as wide as you can with your feet parallel to the short edges of the mat, okay? And then we're going to interlace the hands again to get into that mid-back. And we're going to release forward. So if you've got your period, if you're feeling like you don't want to go too low, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to if you've got any eye problems. You can just stay high, okay? So you can stay about here and do the movement. Depends on where you want to go. If you feel you want to go here, you can. And if you want to go lower, then you can. But again, if you've got a heavy flow, we wouldn't necessarily recommend that. So see where your body feels good. And we're going to start to move the body from side to side. Okay. And then just sort of release a little bit into the shoulders. If the bind feels too strong, then take hold of the elbows. Just find a little movement here. Let the head release, or move the head, move the neck, however you feel. Maybe you want to stay higher like I'm doing now. Maybe you want to go lower, but just feel. The heart is about that real sensitive connection to your own heart and what you feel today. Oh, beautiful. One more. And then release. Have a little shake out of the arms at the top. And then we're going to do this little qigong where we just release any pressure, okay? So with this exercise, you take the hands up and it's almost like your hands are a coffee plunger. One's on top of the other. And you inhale and then you do the little hissing. I don't know if you can hear me because my sound's off, but I'm like hissing, making a hissing noise. Like a hissing snake. I forgot my sound was off. So we do that again. Inhale, imaginary snake. We hiss it out. Beautiful, Cora. And again, inhale up. Exhale, hiss. Lovely. And then coming all the way up, bringing your hands to your heart. So we're going to take a standing balancing pose here that opens up the heart. So come onto your right leg and you're going to, I'll show you front ways first. You're going to hold on to the foot, but make sure the knee doesn't do this. So try to hug the knee in to the midline like this, okay? And then from here, your right hand can be on your hip so that you can stabilize. Let's just take a little bit of time on this right leg, adjusting. So your heel is going in towards your groin. And then from here, you kick the foot away. An option to lean the body forward. So it's a really nice stretch in that left glute. An option here to extend the right arm if you're steady and keep kicking the foot away, coming into your dancer's pose. See how this feels for you. We're going to stay here for a few breaths just so that we're loading the bones on the right leg. If you really struggle, you can always come into tree. Really good to load those hip bones. Stay with me. Last breath. Beautiful, Cora. And then release. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to change sides, okay? So again, hand can come on hip. Draw the heel in towards the bum. Try and find your steady. Take a couple of breaths here to ground. And then as you're ready, you're going to start to kick the foot away. Just kicking it away, maybe leaning the torso forward. The hand can stay on the hip. Keep hugging that knee into the midline. Option to extend the opposite hand. Keep kicking the foot away. Try and find your balance. It's fine to wobble. Just a little bit of strength. One more breath. Beautiful, Cora. And then release. Take a little breath here. And then drop the feet. Take a little shake out. And then step towards the short edge of your mat with your feet slightly wider than hips. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Press the palms. Exhale, forward fold. To bring your hands down the legs wherever you feel. And then inhale, flatten the back, straighten the legs. And exhale, bring your hands to the floor. Step back. And we're going to make our way down onto the mat. And from here, we're going to extend the arms again. And this time, we're going to extend the arms, lift the arms off the floor so the palms come off the floor and the feet. So point the toes, extend the toes, and then lift the chest and lift the legs. Check in with how this feels for your body. One more breath. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Beautiful. Then coming down again. So for the next one, we're going to interlace the hands behind us. Now you can stay with that version. Interlace the hands behind us, either just lifting up through the chest or pointing the toes and lifting the feet at the same time. See how this feels for your shoulders. Beautiful. Bring your energy into your heart space with these heart openers. One more. And then come all the way down. Come down onto the right cheek. And now we're going to go up. So I'm going to give you a couple of options here. If you've had any knee surgery, then you might not want to do this. So we're going to do a half frog. So we take the right foot, okay? And then we bring that right foot and we draw the heel in towards the bum. And see how this feels for you. See how this feels for your knee, okay? And then you're extending through the heart. So my other forearm, my left forearm is down on the floor. You can see, and I'm lifting. Other option is to bring your body completely down and to just bring that heel in. So we're just really opening up through that front glute. Seeing how it feels with one leg. Be lifting a little bit more through the chest. And then release down. And we're going to take the other side. So my right forearm, the opposite forearm, is going to be doing a lot of the work. And then I'm going to bring my left hand back, take hold of the front of the foot. And you're just drawing that heel towards the bum. It doesn't matter if you can't get there. You're just seeing how that feels. You can either stay low with the torso or you can lift. Check in with the knee. Just taking a few breaths here. Frog, half frog. One more breath. And then releasing down. Just take a moment, bring your hands underneath your head just for a breath here. So we're going to go into upward facing bow, but see how this feels for you. So if this is too strong for your body, you can take this one that we did before, or you can take a sphinx and skip it, okay? So from here, I'm going to bring both of my feet in towards my bum, and then I'm going to reach behind me and catch hold of the fronts of my feet. And then from here, the first one, we're going to keep the thighs down. This is much easier. So keep the thighs down. Don't lift up through the thighs. So press the thighs down into the earth, kick the feet away, and then just find that little lift of the chest. Yeah, and that's nice and easy for everybody just to warm up the back. See how that feels. Beautiful. Take one more breath. And then come down, this time onto the left cheek. Now, option to stay with that version with the thighs drawing down into the ground, okay? Or to come a little bit deeper, depending on your low back. So we're going to kick the feet into the hands, lift the chest. Again, maybe stay with that same version, or you can kick the feet more and lift up more. My low back is a little bit tender at the moment, so I'm not going to go too high, but you may be more open and you may want to kick the feet in and lift the chest more. See what your body is calling you to do today. I used to love to do this for my periods, actually. It used to really help me with my periods. I used to do a little rock. One more breath. And then release all the way down. Bring your hands under your forehead. Take a moment here. Take a moment to ground. And then coming up to all fours. Take the knees wide and release back into an extended child's pose. Just allow the body to soften. Taking a couple of breaths. And then we're going to come onto our backs. Time goes so quickly in this class. Lying on your backs with your knees bent, bring your hands down. Literally just last little move. So taking the feet in alignment to the hips, and we're just going to bring the hips up to the sky and then bring them down. And again, inhale, extend, tucking the chin, back of the neck long, and release down. And then this time, hold up. So you may want to just hold up a little way. You may want to just interlace the hands under you and have a little bit more of a stretch. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Connecting into your heart. Last one. Lovely. And then come all the way down. Shuffle your feet so they're as wide as the mat. And just to release the back here, we're just going to drop the right knee down to the right and the left knee comes in. Okay, so nice and wide, and then change sides. Right knee comes in, left knee drops out. And again, this just frees up the back before we come into Shavasana. Right knee out, left knee in, left knee out, right knee in. Beautiful. And then let's come into our Shavasana. Option to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out, or to just let the legs extend as you feel. Let's just take 5 breaths here in our Shavasana today. And just bringing your awareness to your heart space. Breathing in love, unconditional love for yourself. And breathing out love for all living beings. Last breath. And then bring your knees in towards your belly. Give yourself a big hug. Rock from side to side. Massage the low back. Rolling over onto your left side and making your way up to seated. Let's bring our hands together at our heart. I'm just going to take my noise cancellation off because we're going to chant together just to close out the class. And so the Bija mantra is Ram, R-A-M for this. Sorry, no, it's Yam, Y-A-M. So we're just going to chant it 3 times just to activate the heart chakra for today. Take an inhale, exhale, clear it out. Yam. Yam.